Support for WYES is made possible by Mary Lou Kristovich in memory of her husband, William Kristovich.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, soprano Sarah Jane McMahon. Great to see you again.
Thank you, you too.
It was really wonderful. Poppy Tooker, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO Radio. Hi there.
Hi,
good to see you. And author and comedian Chris Champagne. Good to see you with a brand new book. We're so excited for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
and
it.
Steppin Out theater critic Alan Smason, who is also editor of the Crescent City Jewish News. We'll also have a new local Christmas song performed by Kathy Johnfala Carrier later in our show. But first up, Miss Poppy.
Well, you know, it's not Christmas Eve yet, quite, but you know, New Year's Eve follows Christmas Eve pretty regularly, and New Year's Eve requires some planning. So for those at home who have not made their plans yet, I've got some sort of fresh ideas for you. And I'm going to start off at effervescence. I mean, everybody wants a little champagne on New Year's Eve, and that's definitely the place to go for champagne. On Rampart Street, Effervescence, relatively new, they're doing two seatings, one at 5 p.m. and one at 9 p.m. Our buddy Harry Marone is playing there all night, which will make
good taste.
It'll make it really fun and special. And for $80, you have this lovely Tattinger toast and luxury canapes that include delicious things, of course, like caviar, truffles, and oysters. And then, if you want to have a full meal, they also have entree options available that are an add-on. And the entree options are also pretty luxurious. A 3-pound grilled Maine lobster with a caviar hollandaise, or a 20-ounce prime ribeye. And I love this. For the vegetarians, you can get a crown roast of broccoli with black winter truffles. And reservations are required, but there's reservations available. That's part of the problem. Now, there's no reservations needed at Flamingo A Go-Go. If you're looking for something really wild and new to do for New Year's Eve, this is a new place that's on the corner of Magazine and St. Joseph. And it's just a huge, kitschy party place designed as a Rat Pack throwback. There's sculptures by Luis Comuneres and murals by local artist Becky Foss. There's great casual food and fun. You can while away New Year's Eve playing Connect 4 and Twister on big, huge, life-size game boards. And you can also make a reservation for the 24-top party table, which is in a military transport truck there. I mean, this is a very wild place, and if you really, it's going to be fun. They have 45 different pulls at the bar, including beers, wine, cocktails on tap, and on New Year's Day, all day New Year's Day, and all day New Year's Eve, their game day specials, which they usually run during Saints games, beer starting at $2, wine starting at $4, flocktails starting at $5, and appetizers starting at $5, and there's a complimentary champagne toast at midnight. Now, let's go uptown to Boucherie, where there's also reservations available. Nathaniel Zimmett and James Denio are offering two special New Year's Eve menu options, a 4-course menu at Boucherie with a beurre fondue, poached lobster and seared escalar, or dry-aged Wagyu beef short ribs. This is $80 for the 4 courses with an optional $40 wine pairing. You can go around the corner to their special place on Jeanette Street. They have parties and such over there. They're having an 8-course champagne paired menu featuring foie gras soup dumplings, chicken liver mousse brulee, crisp lamb sweetbreads. This is $200. All the paired wines are included. And then another great option, New Year's Eve at Vessel in Mid-City. Of course, it's in that beautiful old church where Christians used to be. Seatings can be reserved on the half hour every hour, starting at 5:30. So they've got 6:30, 7:30. The last that evening is 10:30. Walk-ins, they say, are welcome. You can order a la carte at the bar from their prefix menu. And their prefix menu is a great deal. It's only $62 for 4 courses, including things like crispy pork belly, risotto, scallop crudo. I would like the duck breast with the foie gras mousse. And for dessert, almond torte and a glass of sparkling wine comes with everything. And they're running a lot of champagne specials that night. So, shoot, Flamingo a Go-Go or Vessel, or make the reservation.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Bobby.
you.
And we're so glad to once again be visiting with Sarah Jane, who I
Thank
know,
you.
of course, you perform on a regular basis at St. Louis Cathedral, around the world, okay? But also with a wonderful group called Lyrica Baroque. Tell us about when you'll be performing this weekend.
Well, it's our annual Christmas concert. We're so excited about it. It's Saturday at 7 p.m. It's free, open to the public. It'll be Christmas carols that you're very familiar with, but the thing that's different is it'll be some of the best musicians you've ever heard. We have the principal oboist of the symphony and cellist and bassoonist, and we're flying in our pianist. His name is Andrew Todd. He's from the Grand Teton Festival. It's a very well-known music festival, and our violinist is coming from the Minnesota Orchestra. So we're very excited to have them with us.
Now, we should say if somebody wants to make a donation, no one's going to turn that down, but they can go for free.
Yes,
too.
they do have, I think we do have on the literature $20 suggested donation, but it is a free concert.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, as you said, members of your group, though, come from all different places, including the LPO.
They do. Our core group consists of 4 members. Myself, Jaren Filio, who's the oboist, her husband, Ben Atherholt, who's the bassoonist, and Daniel Lelchuk, who is the cellist.
Yes, yeah. Now, you've been playing, you were just performed in Virginia?
I was just in
Tell us about
Virginia. I
that.
just got home on Sunday night. I was doing the Messiah there, so with the Baroque theme, I was singing Handel's Messiah, and I love singing that early music.
And on a regular basis, as we said, you're at St. Louis Cathedral.
That's correct, and I'm singing Midnight Mass there this year, which it'll be extra special because my daughter, who's 4, she just turned 4, was asked to carry up the baby Jesus. So let's everyone say a prayer.
That's an honor.
It goes well. Yeah, we're really flattered and looking forward to it.
And of course, we need to remind folks that you have your own Christmas CD. Let's hold it up.
I do.
Little Vanna White here.
It's called
Hold it up.
Night of Silence.
Where is it available?
It's the best place to get it is my website, which is www.sarahjanemcmahon.com. I've been traveling so much that I've had people say, "Oh, we can't find it anymore,"
beautiful.
and I need to restock the other stores.
Like the Catholic Bookshop.
I need to do that. Yes, yes.
Now, understandably, you've been very busy. You couldn't perform for us this week, but we have a performance from 2016 of you in our studio. Set that up for us.
Yes, this is from Handel's Acis and Galatea, and it's actually the first leading role that I sang with New York City Opera. So I started my career really singing Baroque opera, and this is As When the Dove, and it's a beautiful song. I hope you enjoy it.
Right, now here is Sarah Jane McMahon performing during our Steppin Out program last year with Lyrica Baroque members Jaren Overholt and on oboe and Daniel Lechuk on cello. Take a look.
As when the dove laments her love alone the naked spray, as when the dove laments her love alone the naked spray.
will be performing at 7 p.m. Saturday at Christ Church Cathedral. And you can visit Lyrica Baroque's website, of course, for more information. Where are you performing next locally?
Well, I go to Chicago next for a concert, but right after that in April, I'll be back with New Orleans Opera for their 75th anniversary gala. They're doing a concert. So I'm singing in that, and I'm also doing The Medium with them in June.
Wonderful. Great. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Suzette Ferrari gave us the name of the Christmas-themed restaurant special that was originally served in homes and was traditionally served, that is, of course, the Réveillon, and it was typically served after Christmas midnight mass, usually. Now, tonight's question. This group has a popular local parody of the 12 Days of Christmas. What's the name of the group, and what is the true love's gift on the first day? Email your answers to Steppin Out at WYS.org. Our prize is a year subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, a copy of the book Fantastic Saints by Ron Calamia, all about Saints superfans, a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, or tickets for the Butterfly Garden and Insectarium. You can go to WYS.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, including City Park's annual celebration in the Oaks, and don't forget the illuminated lobby at the Roosevelt. You can also link to our WYS YouTube channel to view our program. Now, Chris, I can't think of a better stocking stuffer, this book, and let me point this out, because you can really put it in a stocking.
Yes, it fits well, that's true.
Yes,
yeah.
indeed. Secret New Orleans,
Yes,
the concept. Expound.
Yes. Well, thank you. Well, it's Jean-Les Editions is a French company in Versailles, France, and they have this idea, and they do like Secret Paris, Secret Rome, and they get local authors to do them. And I got lucky enough to do the Secret New Orleans. It just came out in September.
Congratulations. Now we have a few images, that maybe some folks just don't see. They're a little off the beaten track, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, that's the concept. Yeah.
Here we go. Now that's in Bywater, isn't it?
Yes, that's Rosalie Alley. It's an alleyway right off of Rampart Street.
I think Sally Glassman's place there.
That's correct. And they do. And this is the Bonnie Brohl has a dollhouse museum upstairs of her on St. Charles, which is really interesting. And so those are the kind of things that are in the book. Smaller museums, little oddities, things like that. So. Like there's also some interesting things, I think, like the marble hall that is in the Custom House that's next to the Insectarium. It's like this incredible, beautiful marble hall built in the 19th century, known as the greatest business hall in the world at some point. And most people who knew New Orleans have never really seen it. And it's you can walk in. They don't like you to come in too much, but it's a federal building, so you can walk in and ask to see it. It's an incredible. So that's one of the things that are in the book.
What almost seems like a cliche to say, be a tourist in your own hometown, but New Orleans is sort of unique in that you really can. You can see neat stuff even to this day.
Sure, you can always see something new, but especially in a place like this with so much history behind it. And the original name of the guides, they were called like Secret Paris, an Unusual Guide. Now they just go with Secret New Orleans or Secret New York. They were originally called an Unusual Guide. So they were looking for offbeat things, and I tried to do the best I could. There's like, I see you're at the Lee Harvey Oswald page.
Yeah. So locations, you talk about the different locations.
Yeah,
right?
That's one of the good things about the book also. It has transit for people, especially for Europeans, they like to look for transit, and there's transit to each place, and it's closest bus or streetcar in our case. And one of the criteria for getting in the book was sometimes was historical background, and you know me as a comedian and a poet, but I do have a BA in history, so not that anybody's coming knocking on my door.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
so
nobody's coming knocking on my door to do history, but I got to use that for once in my life for this book.
It's very nicely done, though, Chris.
And well, thank you very much. Thanks. Well, they did a beautiful job putting it together, and also the photographs are great. And I wanted to mention Paul Lanou and Jonathan Traviesa, who did the lion's share of the photos. So
for more details about Chris Champagne, where do we go?
Well, you can go to ChristianChampagne.com. You can see what I'm doing in my shows and be up there. You can email me at fyfy3@gmx.com, and you can call me or find me.
We just showed all that, so that's
the books in the back of my car at Amazon.
Right, and also local bookstores too,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chris. Good to have you on. And New Orleans songstress Kathy John Carrier has just released a new CD of Christmas classics along with 2 original songs. This is her 3rd album, and she sings on a regular basis at St. Matthew, the Apostle Catholic Church. Carrier came to us earlier this afternoon with the song Performing Christmas is here in New Orleans. Take a look.
Christmas lights glowing down French Quarter streets, down by the river, folks gather and meet. Cold winter evenings brings warm southern feelings, 'cause it's Christmas in New Orleans. Yes, it's Christmas in New Orleans. Never need to roam too far from home. Although it's not snowing, just happy knowing it's Christmas here in New Orleans. Carolers singing in old Jackson Square. People are gathering and saying a prayer. Wrap gifts of treasures, memories and pleasures, 'cause it's Christmas in New Orleans. Yes, it's Christmas in New Orleans. Never need to roam too far from home. Although it's not snowing, just happy knowing it's Christmas here in New Orleans. Yes, it's Christmas in New Orleans. Never need to roam too far from home. Although it's not snowing, just happy knowing it's Christmas here in New Orleans. Although it's not snowing, we're just happy knowing it's Christmas here in New Orleans.
Check out Kathy's website, and that's KathyJenFollickCarrier.com, and her CD is available at the Barnes & Noble on Veterans, Peaches Records, Muley Store in Metairie, and at the St. Jude Gift Shop. And now it's time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we're featuring works of art by 2 artists, abstract artist Richard Johnson. This is abstract number 1, a former fine arts professor from UNO. Johnson's work has been described as abstract illusionism with touches of acrylic and collage. And we have, this is Alan's 2015 #2. His exhibit, titled Recent Work, will be on view until December 30th at the Cole Pratt Gallery on Magazine Street. Visit the gallery's website to see more of the artist's work. Now, Alan.
Well, you know, there are many Jane Austen fans out there who can recite chapter and verse about Pride and Prejudice, and it would seem that playwrights Lauren Gunderson and Margot Melson are among her diehard fans. That's because their recent sequel, which was done in 2015 to a stage adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, is now on at Marquette Theater, Miss Bennet, Christmas at Pemberley. It's nothing less than a holiday gift to all of us. It is a beautiful little, wonderful play, all wrapped up with green and ribbons for trim, red and green ribbons for trim. I have to tell you, Miss Bennet, Christmas at Pemberley, takes place after Mr. Darcy and Lizzie have basically set up house at Pemberley. They've settled down. Two of the sisters have married. Lydia, Emily Russell, and Jane, Annie Cleveland, are there with Mr. Darcy, of course, who's Michael Newcomer. Shelley Johnson takes up as Lizzie. They also have one unmarried sister. That's Mary Bennet. Helen Yatch, of course, is very much single, and she is the object of desire of Arthur de Bourgh. Of course, Arthur de Bourgh, the de Bourgh family, you may remember there was one of those who was jilted. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Arthur is a really bookish milquetoast of a figure. He's a student. He's really more interested in books than women. But his eyes are laid upon the lovely Miss Mary, and, you know, all things happen at that point that are interesting, and a number of misadventures in which are designed to essentially keep them apart. Co-directed by M.A. Hayes and Jeffrey Gunshaw, this beautiful set is designed with what appears to be a working pianoforte, because Helen Yatch actually attempts to play, or it looks like she's emulating the play of pianoforte, and does a really great job. She has a wonderful opportunity there on stage. There are some transition scenes, too, in between the different scenes, where they have almost a balletic movement of the characters as they move props and stage furniture around. A very humorous part played by Erin Sheets, who's the assistant director, and she does the maid during those. Now, some of the other things that I wanted to mention about this, though, Gunderson and Melson are really breathing fresh life into some of these characters that we all know from having read the book, but this is I think a play that's destined to become really a Christmas, I guess you might say, happening every year. It's almost like a Christmas Story, Scrooge, etc. It has all the different makings of a regular play that'll be staged over and over again. I really recommend Southern Rep's production of this, Miss Bennet, Christmas at Pemberley, and again, you're going to be over there at Marquette Theater for the remainder of this weekend, so unfortunately, just the last chance to see it. Meanwhile, at the Sanger Theater last night, I was able, or earlier in the week, I was able to see, let's say, this wonderful production of Irving Berlin's White Christmas. Now, everybody knows White Christmas. This is the movie that starred, of course, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye and Rosemary Clooney and Vera Ellen. It's all the same thing. If you like the singing and dancing in that movie, you're going to love this production. It stars Sean Montgomery as Bob Wallace and Phil Davis in the role of what would be the Danny Kaye role, Jeremy Benton, our very first Bacchus, of course. And, of course, Betty Haynes is Carrie Conti. Judy Haynes is played by Kelly Sheehan. And they, of course, do the Sisters song that you may remember, Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister, etc. Irving Berlin's White Christmas also stars Karen Ziemba, who you saw on stage in Broadway. Star. Oh yes, she was there in the recent production that they did of Prince of Broadway. Yeah, she played like 4 or 5 different roles. And again, also in there is Conrad John Shook. TV viewers will remember him as from Macmillan and Wife. He was also on Law and Order, several things. He was also in several Star Trek movies and
in the movie MASH.
That's true. And he also played Daddy Warbucks, because he does have the bald head. Anyway, the bald pate leads him into this role too. He plays the old man, General Waverly again. I think this is just a delightful show. Lots of tap dancing. Suspend all belief. This is not a believable musical. Of course, musicals aren't believable.
Great Irving Berlin song.
Absolutely, and I do recommend it very highly. If you love Irving Berlin, and remember what Jerome Kern said, Irving Berlin has no place in American music. He is American music. Okay, Chris Kamenstein is also doing a remount of Foreign to Myself, which was done at the CAC a few months back. Again, this is free admission. It's going to be January 12th to the 14th and January 19th to the 21st.
Okay, great. Thank you, Alan. And now it's time for our picks of the week. Sarah Jane.
Well, of course, our Christmas concert tomorrow night. I'll be singing Oh Holy Night and a bunch of other favorites. And if you need a Christmas CD, Night of Silence.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Celebrate Leah Chase's 95th birthday with her on Saturday, January 6th at a gala at the Hyatt Regency, benefiting the Dookie Chase Foundation. $250 tickets would be a great last-minute Christmas gift.
Thank you. Chris?
Well, you can catch me and Ronnie Verdes every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on WSLA 1560 a.m. in our radio show, Radio Free New Orleans.
All right.
And I do shows around town all the time, so look for me. I'm ubiquitous.
Okay, ubiquitous.
A special announcement. This is for Summer Lyrics Theater, the entire season. Bernstein at 100, June 2nd and 3rd. My Fair Lady, June 20th through the 24th. Ragtime, July 12th and the 15th. And the last of the shows, Newsies. They're doing Newsies, people.
Yay.
And this is going to be August the 2nd through the 5th, and it's a fantastic season.
Okay, thank you. My picks, don't miss Christmas Without Tears, presented by Harry Shearer and Judith Owens. That's tomorrow night at Le Petit Theater on St. Peter's Street. Special guests for the performance include Sean Ardwin and Michael Cerveris and Solid Harmony. Visit ChristmasWithoutTears.com for more information on that. Looking ahead, the Moscow Ballet will be stopping at the Sanger Theater the day after Christmas to put on their 25th anniversary performance of the Great Russian Nutcracker. There'll be one show at 3 p.m. and another at 7 p.m. Tickets start at $32. There'll also be two performances of Lightwire Theater's A Very Electric Christmas next Thursday. That will be at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center in Metairie. Tickets start at just $20, and that is an amazing performance. Also available, the tickets at JPS's website. Now, though, we leave you with music from Lyrica Baroque. I Know That My Redeemer Liveth from Handel's Messiah. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and good night. Thank you all.